Okay, this keeps getting taken down because I'm cussing, so I'm not gonna cuss. But anyways, I want to talk about this TikTok. Okay, I don't really agree with the whole devil thing, but something about how he talks about the vibes were different this Astroworld, and in the comments, everyone was talking about the frequency of the music they were playing in between sets, and that like clicked in my head. Basically, I made another TikTok talking about what happened like with me like passing out wise, but like more specifically after Roddy Rich, I was fine, and they started playing. They usually have DJs in between sets at festivals, but they started playing this weird bass, like this just like repetitive bass noise and nothing else. And right when this thing started playing, I was like, what is this? Like, it was hurting my ears. But then I instantly got sick and I passed out on the floor. And I even told my friend before I passed out, I was like, I'm lightheaded. And then I was like, is this noise bothering you too? And then I passed out, woke up later. People were like shoving drinks down my throat. They're like, are you dehydrated? Are you dehydrated? I'm like, no, like, get away from me. And then we go to Travis's set, we skip Lil Baby and SZA, and then I stand up because people start coming over there, and this sound starts playing again at Travis's stage, but it's way more intensified, and I start passing out again. And I wake up and I'm like freaking out. I'm bawling my eyes out, trying to call and text my mom to come get me. I'm like, help me, like nothing's going through. I'm freaking out. I couldn't even, this was 2 hours before Travis was getting on, and I still couldn't get out of Travis's stage. That's how many people were over there. It was insane. The fact that there were like fences kind of like by Travis's stage, like keeping people like confined, that the only way out was to go against everyone. It was impossible to get out of there. It was insane. And then like people were passed out all day. It was just weird. It was weird. I've never been to a festival like that. And it was cold. Like, people passed out from like dehydration, drugs, heat exhaustion. But like, it was like a cold day. Heat exhaustion isn't out of it. And I've never seen this many people passed out. A couple more things that were weird. There was no exit. Like, to get out, you had to go through the gates you came in, go through the COVID scanning, and go through the parking lot, and then you couldn't go down any of the closed streets. Like, it was the longest way to exit. Like, God forbid if there would have been like a mass, you know what I'm talking about, I don't want to, it would have been terrible. There was no way to get out of here. Also, COVID scanning was a joke completely. They didn't even have you scan your wristbands when I came in, because there was people running through the gates. Half the people there didn't pay for the show, so it was just like so many people. And why was it on concrete? Why was that a good idea? I've been to so many festivals and like I've never been on one on concrete. Like, I know they had this stuff over Travis's one is on grass, but they put this hard stuff over it. I don't know why. It was weird.
We need urgent prayer for Houston. I will say that urgent prayer for the United States of America. Because what happened over the weekend, you know what happened? Travis Scott was here, and he was doing the concert, Astroworld. And there is so many people. I'm going to get straight to the line because I don't want to like beat around the bush right now or get aside. But I want to have information that I want to share with you. And even you probably can see some of the photos that I'm going to put right below or on the side. There's so many photos you see. It is demonic photos. And the news actually broke out and went all over the place. What happened over the weekend? Over the weekend, you know, those of you who don't know what happened in the Houston, but I want to share with you. And those of you who already know, I want to also share with you this information. So Houston officials worried about crowd control before Travis Scott took the stage. On the day of this show, the Houston police chief said that he visited Mr. Scott in his trailer and shared his concern about the crowd. So Houston, so NewYorkTimes.com. So concert organizers and Houston city officials knew the crowd at a music festival planned by Travis Scott, a favorite local rapper turned mega star, could be difficult to control. That's what happened 2 years earlier, the last time Scott held his Astro Festival. For months, they braced themselves, adding more officers from the Houston Police Department and more privately. So So many people, it's so demonic that so many people, died, and there could be hundreds. When the dead body was lifted, I'm gonna also show you the video now. He was saying, yay, 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 and looking at the dead body. People who were in the concert, I checked both news, CNN and the Fox News, although they are very different on a political points. But when I heard the people talking about it, they said that they felt like they were in hell. And when the Travis Scott comes up, all of a sudden the pushback against the barricaded stage rail, everybody was pushed against. And there's a kid, young guys in their late 20s or early 20s or early, under 20s or over 30s. They said they were squeezed so far into the barricade that they couldn't even breathe. And people died for the lack of oxygen. Their life was squeezed out. Photos, things that I'm seeing, it's just my head hurts even seeing all these things. It is out of my mind. I don't even want to look at it. The photos, the images, the videos are like, makes your head hurt. Yes, it's that terrible. It's bad. Human sacrification is real to please the goddess, satanic worshiper. And that's what they had agenda in their mind. Those who lost their loved one, my condolence to them. But it's this stuff, people don't understand. If the demons are real, so God is. So the God is real. Jesus is real. Holy Spirit is real. We need to intercede for our nation. We need to intercede for the city of Houston. What took place, it was terrible. And that Travis Scott is actually being sued. So Travis Scott and Drake are being sued for negligence and encouragement of violence at the Astroworld festival that killed at least 8 people. One injured fan said that the Astroworld disaster was a direct result of a motivation for profit at the expense of concert goers' health and safety, and the encouragement of violence. 3 fans who say they sustained injuries at the Astroworld festival have lawsuit against in the week of the disaster, which left 8 people dead. Travis Scott, who produced and headlined the event, has been named in all 3 lawsuits. 8 people ranging in the age from 14 to 27 died at the event, and 13 others reportedly remain in the hospital with critical injuries. The timeline of events led to the facilities still remain unclear, but attendees' videos and witnesses' testimonies appear to indicate that the fans were being crushed in the overcrowded space as concert-goers surged towards the stage during Scott's performance. Manuel Souza, who said that he was injured during the chaos, was the first to file a lawsuit in the aftermath of this mass incident that took place on the Friday. And look at some of the images. It's disturbing images. America, we need to pray for our children. And those children who really endorsed and had people go, you look at the result. What's happening is terrible. It's idiotic. It's mockery of God and over churches and the children and the parents. We really need to call on that. So We really need to call out the rapper. I don't see a talent. I see hypocrisy. Celebrate what? Nothing is there to celebrate, but only mourning and groaning.